Sam Logue here for IrishBoxing.com. Delighted to be joined by Gary Cully, the diva himself. That's some hat, Gary.
Do you like that, Sam?
Love that hat, bro. Yeah.
Bit of a hat, yeah. Nice cozy vibes today for the press conference. So yeah,
Yeah, that's funky, man. Coming with that old school rap vibes. Yeah, I love it. Pimp vibes maybe as well.
100%, 100%.
Come here. Ahead of your fight against WILFREDO Flores on the Lee Wood Mauricio Lara undercard. We've got press conference today. First of all, just tell me how you're feeling.
Yeah, good. Feeling good. Camp went great. Um, I say camp, but I train all year round, and we've met in the past, and you kind of know that. And people kind of know that about me, that I'm in the gym all year round. But I stepped it up again. After Christmas, I was training all over the Christmas. Stepped it up first of January, and put in a good camp. Loads of good sparring up in the gym. Sean McComb, Jazza Dickens, world level. Paul Ryan, middleweight. One of the best in the, probably I think the best in the country at 154 pounds. So all southpaws. Wilfredo Flores is a southpaw. I've been getting great sparring in, and I'm prepared. I'm feeling good, man. I'm looking forward to putting on a show.
Brilliant. Um, do you feel any kind of extra pressure going into this fight? That we're not going to talk too much about it, but with certain things maybe possibly on the horizon, is there an extra sense of pressure? You're kind of more embedded now in matchroom, and you're starting to get a big name. Eddie Hearn is calling your name a lot. Is there that extra sense of pressure, or is it, you know, smooth sailing for you?
Look to what it could be, but it could be, and probably was when I was first new to it, like when it first came about. But I'm settling in nicely, and it's somewhere that I've always been aiming, and somewhere that I knew that my talent deserved, and I've been waiting for opportunities to show that and to prove that. And so, like I said, it's like a duck to water to me now. I'm settling in nicely, and yeah, no, I'm just excited for the next 12 to 24 months, because it's going to be huge for me.
Absolutely. Um, you're the only Irish guy on this card, as far as I can see, which is a little bit different vibe for you. You've had a nice congregation of Irish men around you or Irish women around you over the last
I'm
few.
flying the flag. I'm flying the flag this weekend.
You're flying the flag alone this weekend, man. A fair play to you. But does that I don't imagine it does, but does that change the vibe for you at all when you're there, or are you just so super focused that kind of nothing else really matters?
And not really. Like, I've got a close knit team. There's probably like five or six of us who travel over. My manager, Babs, my photographer, myself, my Mrs. Danielle, Niall, and Pete. And that's my circle in the gym. That's my circle Monday to Friday all year round. That's my circle when I go away on fight week. So it is what it is. That's who's in the changing room with me. That's who's doing the ring walk with, like, that's just what it is. I keep my circle quite small. Um, Listen, this could be in Wilfredo Flores' back garden tomorrow night or Saturday night or whenever. I'd have the same few people with me, and I'd still go in and do the same job, you know. So no, it is what it is to me.
I get you.
Obviously, it's good to for the shows and for the excitement, and to there's a bit more buzz about, like, Lee Wood and Conlon last year. There was a massive buzz about the city and about the town all week, and stuff like that. It's a little bit different, but for me, it's just business as usual, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it needs to be, isn't it? Um, you had the workout yesterday, the public workout. What was that like? You looked pretty impressive on the pads with Niall. Um, how do you find doing that kind of work in the lead up now to fights, especially because it's a bigger stage, there's more expected of you from a media perspective. How do you find kind of having to get in and maybe slightly alter your own schedule, or deal with these kind of media demands and stuff like that,
Yeah,
for the
like I
fight?
said to you, kind of look like a duck to water. It's if you're going to be a name and win titles and do what I want to do and reach the levels that I want to reach in boxing, then that's part of the game. You know what I mean? I love it all, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
love
like
getting.
you enjoy it.
I said to Niall yesterday before we get in, like, you see a lot of fighters, like, you get in and then maybe just skip or do a little bit of shadow boxing or whatever. I said, let's put on a bit of a show here. Like, do you know what I mean? There's fans out here, there's media out here. Let's just put on a bit of a show and do a quick proper bang on the pads, like, you know what I mean? So I enjoy it all. Like I said, duck to water. I think I'm born for this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's good. Fight week is like, once I get into that fight week mode, I enjoy it all, and I take every day, I suppose, as it comes, and every day is a separate day. So yesterday was the public workout. I performed there, and I put that in the back of my mind. Today is the press conference, got to perform at the press conference, and then we'll push that to the side till the weigh-in, and then obviously fight night on Saturday. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You did look like you enjoyed it in there for sure. It's just interesting to me because
I
you've
haven't
definitely had
I haven't had carbs for a week, so watch when I get carbs in me. How fast I was without carbs in me. Watch when I get carbs in me on Friday, Saturday night. Yeah.
lovely little tagline there for the video.
So
But yeah, we look forward to it, man. So let's press on and just talk a little bit about your opponent. What do you expect? Do you know much about him? He's not someone that a lot of people have heard of before, but he has a tidy little record. He's coming over from America, right? 10-0, Wilfredo Flores. What do you know about him, and kind of what do you expect him to bring to the table?
yeah, not much to be honest. I know his record. I've seen his box rec. Obviously, seen who he's fought. Not really fought anyone of note. He fought a guy in his last fight, Beacon Court Jr., who was 27-4, which was his best win. But again, Beacon Court was like fighting guys with losing records his whole career, like just building a padded record. You know, Wilfredo Flores is 10 wins, and five of them I think are against guys with losing records as well. So look, he's coming over here. He's undefeated. He's never been beaten before. He's at a draw out in Mexico. I think 2 years ago. Never been beaten before. He's coming over here confident. He's coming over here to put an end to my hype train, I suppose, and to put a stop to my party. But I've got big plans for the rest of the year, and for 2024 as well, obviously. And I'm kind of seeing this fight as motivation towards them. People are saying don't get too distracted, because of obviously we're hearing of Katie Taylor and Serrano too, and a big fight for me possibly on that card and stuff like that. And people are asking, is it a distraction? But I'm using it as motivation. You know, if I don't get through Saturday night, then them streams are all up in smoke. So, fighting back in Dublin, fighting in front of my home, fighting in my home in front of my people has been a dream of mine since I've been a kid. So, I'm using Wilfredo Flores as motivation. I've got to get through him first on Saturday night, and then we're on to bigger and better things. You know.
Absolutely. So there's no kind of added pressure for you. You don't seem like the kind of guy who necessarily feels pressure, but then that can sometimes it can be hidden well as well. So, like with everything that you just said there, is there extra pressure on this fight? You know, and especially when you're talking about fighting a guy who you don't he's not a massive name, so you don't necessarily know loads about him. Do you feel that extra kind of pressure or nervousness, or is it kind of business as
Not
usual
so
for you?
much. Like, I suppose he's coming over here and he's got absolutely nothing to lose. The odds are stacked against him. Everybody's expecting me to get in here and like blast him out in 30 seconds. Like, and it's I'm building that reputation through my performances, but also that's not what boxing is like as well. You know, this guy's coming over here. I've heard he's had like over 100 amateur fights as well, so he knows his way about the ring. You know, but no, like I said to you again, like added pressure. I think it comes with experience. I've had this my 16 pro fight now on Saturday, and maybe if you had asked me that same question 10 fights ago, I probably would have answered it a different way. But I'm getting a little bit older. I'm getting more mature, and I'm getting more experience with every fight, and learning how to deal with these fight weeks. This is Wilfredo Flores' first fight week where we're doing a lot of media work on the Wednesday. We're doing a press conference on the Thursday, a big deal about the weigh-in on the Friday. I've been here. I've done all that. I've passed my tests. I've fought former world champions. I fought two undefeated guys already in my career, 10-0 and 16-0, and go back on my box track and look how both of them ended. So I've passed my tests, and he's got a big step up in front of him, and I just think he's going to be over his depth.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. I want to touch back slightly on stuff we were talking about there a few minutes ago. The kind of the PR stuff, you know, you're talking about doing more media and you enjoy it. Is it something that you think about now a lot more, like about building your image and, you know, doing certain things like wearing the funky hats and, you know, all this kind of stuff, doing the more videos or doing more interviews or whatever it may be. Is it stuff that you've kind of focused on and had to take on into your workload to try and build your name alongside your ability in the ring?
Definitely, in a way, I think if you're not looking at building, we're a brand, like, you know, and if you're not looking at building your brand, then you're very silly. Like, it's a lot more to what goes on with outside the ring as it is inside. But also with me, it's just kind of accepting and being letting myself out to the world a little bit more. I suppose I would have been like 2 3 years ago. I'm very private, like, and I don't like people knowing that much about me or about my private life. But I'm just like, I'm opening up a little bit more. I'm doing my thing. Like, this hat is not for show for a press conference. I wear this on a day-to-day basis into the gym and around my gaff and all. Like, do you know what I mean? So this is just me, and I'm just learning to be myself a little bit more in the public eye, I suppose. And people are liking that, and people like to see your story and see your background and see where you've come from. So I'm just opening up to that a little bit more, and there's a lot more people then jumping on board, like,
Definitely, yeah. And people like genuinity, don't they? People like to see real. And
Yeah,
if you can,
that's what I
do you know what
try
I
and
mean?
keep it real all the time. Like, I try and keep, like, I think you can see through the bullshit and see through all the fake stuff. So I just try and keep it real, try and be myself. And if you like me, you like me, and if you don't, then I'm sorry. Like, but I feel like I'm a quite likable guy. I'm quite a nice guy. I do my shit in the ring. I'm quite confident, but not too over the top arrogant. So yeah, man, I'm settling into the role, should we say?
Brilliant. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Come here. Last thing I'll ask you is for a prediction for the fight. How do you feel it's going to go?
Myself, my fight,
Yeah,
Gary Cully victory. After that, anything else is a bonus. I can knock him out in one round, I can win it on points. Whatever it is, it is. But I'll be getting my hand raised on Saturday night, 100%.
absolutely. Great to hear, Gary. And thanks very much for giving us a bit of time on short notice and so close to the fight. I do
No
appreciate
worries,
it, my
pal.
friend.
Appreciate the platform. I appreciate your time and all your energy as well. So thank you, man.
No worries, mate. No worries. It's a pleasure as always. Listen, best of luck at the press conference today, the weigh-in tomorrow, and then of course the fight. Sorry we can't be there this week. It just it turned out a difficult one for us, but we'll all be tuning in to see you get the win on Saturday night.
Nice one, bro.
Gary Cully, thanks very much for talking to
Chat to you soon,
IrishBoxing.com.
yeah?
Best of luck, mate, and talk to you soon.
Cheers, man.